Hi, this demo is developed by Bristlecone, the leaders in supply chain consulting and experts in integration. Here I will walk you through a scenario showing how easy it is to integrate to a cloud-based application such as Salesforce.com using Oracle SOA Suite. Now we will have a look at how the complete integration has been designed and developed. The first step is to obtain Enterprise Wsdl and certificate from Salesforce.com. Second, we will import the certificate we obtained in the previous step into WebLogic Server. Then we create a composite with all the required activities and configuration. Two important steps we need to consider are: 1. The service endpoint on Salesforce is dynamic. We will see how to assign dynamic endpoint URL to partner link. And 2. The login web service returns a dynamic session ID, and that session ID needs to be passed to Salesforce for every web service invoked thereafter. Compile and deploy Composite into WebLogic Server. Let's open Salesforce.com to download Enterprise Wsdl and certificate. Go to Setup and then to Develop API. Click on Generate Enterprise Wsdl and then Generate button. This is an Enterprise WSDL. Save this WSDL with appropriate name. You may contact Salesforce support team for public certificate, or you may download certificate from the same browser you open Salesforce.com in. A copied or downloaded certificate will look like the one on the screen. Now import the certificate in the WebLogic server using KeyTool command. A message confirming certificate's addition to the key store appears. You may verify this using KeyTool list command. Let's learn how to create Composite in Oracle Jdeveloper. Download the WSDL of the workflow or the Outbound message. It's as easy as clicking on the link called Click for WSDL. Save this Outbound WSDL. Let's start with Outbound Composite process in Jdeveloper. I have used Web Service Adapter, which consume Outbound WSDL. We just downloaded. Database Adapter has been used at external references swim lane. I have configured DB Adapter to perform basic CRUD operations. Let's dive deep into BPEL process. Receive activity receives the opportunity sent from Salesforce Outbound Opportunity Workflow. Transform activity maps the incoming data to the format required by the Database Adapter. And finally, invoke activity invokes Database Adapter to send data to the OMS system. This is all about first BPEL process orchestration. Let's have a look into the second integration process. I have used Database Adapter at the Exposed Services side. Looking at Database Adapter configurations, I have used the third option to pull the records which are either inserted or modified in target application database. Opportunity table is imported. I am using the logical delete option to avoid reading duplicate records. As soon as a particular record is read, the corresponding value of logic value column will be updated to R. Rest is a default configuration. At external reference side, I used Web Service Adapter consuming Salesforce Enterprise WSDL downloaded in the first step. In the BPEL process, first assign activity is to assign credentials to login into Salesforce.com. Login invoke activity is invoking the login operation of Salesforce.com. Login response from Salesforce.com provides two essential values, session ID and server URL. In the next assign activity, I have assigned all dynamic values. But before moving to it, we have to create two variables. One, Salesforce header variable based on the message type header from the Enterprise WSDL, and two, Salesforce endpoint reference based on element type endpoint reference from WSA dressing. Now let's see how I have used these variables inside assign activity. Session ID of login response is getting mapped to session ID element from Salesforce header variable. Second server URL from login response is mapped to address element from Salesforce endpoint reference variable. Third Salesforce endpoint reference variable is mapped to Salesforce partner link. That's it. From now on, whenever Salesforce reference partner link will be invoked, it will connect to the new URL assigned to partner link. Salesforce Enterprise WSDL poses polymorphic behavior. I have used the Substitute Element option of Oracle SOA Suite's Transform activity. I picked the Opportunity object here. Relevant fields are being mapped from source to Salesforce Opportunity Structure. The last activity is to invoke Update method of Salesforce.com. Don't forget to provide header variable in the Header tab of Invoke.